lot of people know that I spent a few years in Texas. What they don't know is how profound an effect it had on my life, as well as my walk with God. I was 18 years old and working in home base in Riverside. And I remember for several months praying, Lord, just make something happen. I don't like the way my life is going. I just want something different. And I came home from work one night and my mom met me at the door and she was in tears and said, your uncle had called. And I called and said, hey, well, what's up? He said, I got a job for you. He said, how would you like to move to Austin, Texas? I saw it for what it was. It was the Lord saying, you wanted it, you got it. And it really was a leap of faith that I had asked for it, now what are you going to do with it when I give it to you? So I went from living at my parents' house with 5 other people to living alone in Austin, Texas within about 3.5 weeks. At that point, it was really going to be the time when you have to decide, is this going to be the faith of your family, or are you going to be like Jacob and make that commitment that if you'll be my God, I'll be your servant. The church and the speaker and the people that were there, that was really what I needed when I needed it. They had a Bible class and we were talking about grace. And all growing up, I had seen my relationship with God, one being more of, there's things that you need to do and there's things you shouldn't do, and that's just it. But very checklist oriented. And when I would hear about people, being saved, coming up out of the water and thinking, man, I feel so much weight lifted off of me. I was always remember thinking, all right, well, I did that and I didn't really feel that same way. But I remember sitting in this Bible class on a Sunday evening and one of the brothers said, just so that we're all on the same page, let's all make sure we understand that grace covers us through our life. We're not walking this tightrope. And I remember sitting there and thinking, man, I have missed the point for so many years. And at that moment, I really understood the feeling that those people felt coming up out of the water that I had never felt before, because I had this wrong assumption that you're constantly in and out of salvation. You just hope that when it's time to check out, you're in the positive, you're not in the negative. So I remember after that revelation, that next week, I really saw my entire life differently. My prayers took on a different air, because I wasn't going before a judge. It was more of a, go before your Father, and it really was an incredible opportunity. It was such a nurturing environment. Because of the whole experience that I had, I was able to develop a different kind of relationship that I don't see me ever having had I not went through that. And it really got me put onto a track where I had a better understanding of how God works. And sometimes all that means is, I don't know how God works. And I'm not going to question it, because He knows what He's doing. And when we try to help Him out, a lot of times we just end up in the way. I mean, He's kind of like the mom in the kitchen trying to make supper, and if you let the kids help out, sometimes supper takes longer and you don't quite get the recipe right because JR dumped an extra quart of sugar in the soup pot. But that's really one of the harder things about your walk with God, is being able to trust Him enough to get out of His way.